Welcome back. You know, we're just days away from TEDx Pleasant Grove, the first of its kind. And if you're not familiar with TEDx, speakers from several different backgrounds, they come together to share and create game-changing initiatives with communities. This time in Southern Dallas. I'm here with TEDx speaker Kristen Geez. You are actually the founder of a nonprofit organization called Advising Generation Z. So first of all, congratulations on being part of the first ever TEDx Pleasant Grove. What is this experience like?
Honestly, it's been one of the best experiences. I'm naturally a planner, but there is no way I could have planned everything that goes on. So there's about 10 speakers. I made the finalist, and Lillian, who's the curator, has picked people with diverse stories, but also different ethnicities.
Right.
So we're all very different, but we're all really passionate to tell a story, and it's just so amazing that it's already sold out.
I know. I just asked you now that it literally just sold out this week, a couple days ago.
Yes.
But in fact, TEDx Frisco had just wrapped up, and they had several speakers as well. What are some of the platforms for TEDx Pleasant Grove?
So some of it, like my program is definitely talking about kids, but we have people that are coming from Florida, coming from California, that are in industries as far as like being doctors or dental hygienists, all the way to immigration. I mean, it's just a very diverse group of people.
You know, some of the panel discussions that we'll see happen at TEDx Pleasant Grove, I mean, the point of it is to really talk about initiatives that can be used throughout Southern Dallas. So how do you think that's going to be effective, especially with your panel discussion?
Well, I know for specifically, I'm working with kids who are misguided leaders. So the kids that are bullies or ringleaders are always getting in trouble. And so whenever I was thinking about applying, the reason why I chose TEDx Pleasant Grove is because I wanted to find a voice where it was going to allow me to kind of target everyone. When you think about Southern Dallas, and even when you think about kids that are bullies, you think about low-income areas. But that's not always the case. And I think the fact that we were able to sell out so quickly just lets you know that this kind of event needs to happen in Southern Dallas.
Tell me more about your organization.
Yeah, so Advising Generation Z has been around for about 9 years. We have 2 programs underneath there, Lipstick Ready, which is for girls, and Shepherds of Healing, which is for guys. And we specifically work with kids who are getting in trouble. So that's the kids that are getting sent to either alternative schools, or maybe they're getting sent to a detention center, or they're involved in teen court. And we're in 11 school districts, 4 municipal courts in major cities, and we've seen about 5,217 students in the last 9 years. And even though that number sounds really big, it's really not when you think about the amount of kids that are being sent to alternative schools or being sent to detention centers.
Now, I know you've been getting a lot of feedback from the mayor and especially people out in the community. Where exactly in Southern Dallas are some of the students from?
Yeah, so we're working at Dallas Can. We've been at a few of their recreation centers, and also working with the city. So when you think about the kids that are in our program, they're either being sent to us because they've gotten in trouble, or they're mandated by the court to come to our program.
Wow. If someone wants to get in contact with you, can we put that information out there?
Yes, go to advisinggenerationz.com or find me on Kristen Geez on any social media platform.
All right, and TEDx Frisco happening on the 25th.
TEDx Frisco happening, TEDx Pleasant Grove is happening on the 25th, yes.
All right, yes, TEDx Frisco just wrapped up. TEDx Pleasant Grove, Saturday, noon to 5 on Prairie Creek Road in Dallas. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you. We'll be right back after this break.